Hello everybody, this is Dr. Gita Mathai and this is my Health Vibes channel. Today we are going to talk about salt. Salt has got a very bad reputation now. Everybody thinks it is responsible for more than half the diseases: hypertension, heart disease, cardiac failure, kidney failure. But salt is actually necessary for life. It is a content of the cell, and salt movement is what transmits signals from one cell to the other and then to the nerves and then to the brain. So if the person has very little salt and is salt depleted, they will have lots of side effects. Too much of anything or too little of anything is not good for us. But what happens nowadays is that people like to eat salty snacks, and then the salt content of their body goes up. When the salt content goes up in the body, it is excreted by the kidneys. The kidney can only tolerate a certain amount of salt, and it can only get rid of a certain amount of salt. So the rest of the salt remains in the body. It pulls fluid along with it. So the person's face becomes puffy, body becomes puffed up, and feet become swollen. This aggravates hypertension, aggravates cardiac failure, and makes the person's kidneys also fail. This is why salt has such a bad reputation. How much salt should we actually eat? A normal person needs only 5 grams of salt, that is 1 level teaspoon per day in all the food. So for a family of 4 people, there is 20 grams of salt. If there is some sort of disease, then only half this amount should be eaten. That is half a teaspoon of salt per day per person. Now, if you consider your salt intake like this, you must also remember that salt is added to snacks, to pickles, to papadums. So you have to make an allowance for the salt content in this other food as well. Where do we get our salt from? Salt is available from many sources. The natural salt is available from evaporation of seawater, and salt is also mined. Salt is made in factories, and salt is obtained from the foothills of the Himalayas, and that is called Himalayan salt. All these salts contain different composition of minerals and chemicals, but which salt is the healthiest, we have to decide. Now the government has made it mandatory to add iodine to salt. The government has said it's essential to iodize salt. 37 grams of potassium iodide solution is added to a ton of salt. People don't like iodized salt because they say it is chemically modified, it is chemical salt. That is not very true. As a country, we are deficient in iodine, and iodine is essential for the proper functioning of the thyroid gland and the release of the thyroid hormone. The thyroid hormone controls so many functions in our body. So when we become deficient in iodine and the hormone becomes less, lots of side effects are seen. We start to think slowly, we start to move slowly, fertility is affected, the people become anemic, they become constipated, and finally they puff up. If a pregnant woman is deficient in iodine, then the baby becomes deficient in iodine and she gives birth to a mentally challenged baby who may even be suffering from cretinism. We lose a lot of salt from our body as sweat, especially in hot weather or if we are exercising. Each liter of sweat contains 3 grams of salt, and if this is not replaced in the hot summer months, we can get heat stroke and heat fatigue. Sometimes people are told to take a low salt diet, but the low salt diet is not tasty. So what do? They look in the media and they look for advertisements, and low salt is advertised. This low salt tastes as good as normal salt, but it contains less sodium, so they think it is safe. But what happens is that the sodium in low salt is replaced by other minerals like potassium and magnesium. Excess of these minerals also have side effects, and these people can go into kidney failure or cardiac arrhythmias because of excess potassium and excess magnesium. So don't take low salt. Learn to control your salt intake and take only as much as is recommended for you. Stay fit, keep everybody around you healthy, and remember, too much or too little of anything is not good for us. This is Dr. Gita Mathai signing off. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe to my Health Vibes channel and press the bell button. The same content is available in Tamil. Thank you.